So Tommy Aspinall calls his shots. He names who he wants to be for his first defense of his heavyweight title. The UFC heavyweight champion wants Stipe Miocic, the former UFC heavyweight champion and greatest heavyweight of all time, as his first title defense. And he says, let's move on. I'm the champion now. I'll fight Stipe. He's available. Me and Stipe will fight. When I beat Stipe, I'll fight Jon Jones. Let's keep the ball rolling. Jon Jones is injured. He's out of the picture for a while. Stipe isn't injured. I'm the champion. Give me Stipe. It's not rocket science. Well said by the interim heavyweight champion, soon to be undisputed heavyweight champion, Tom Aspinall. This clearly no-brainer is the fight to make. Like, what's the point? What's the point of the UFC saving Stipe for Jon Jones, who can't fight till like maybe the fall or late summer of 2024? That's a waste of time when we already have an interim heavyweight champion of the division. Usually how it works is if the champ is injured and someone wins the interim title, the interim champ is supposed to unify against the undisputed champion, and straight away. So I think this is a waste of time. I think Jones versus Miocic, it was a big fight when it was initially supposed to happen November 11th this year. But now that Jon pulled out and we just saw what Aspinall did to Sergey, Jones versus Stipe is irrelevant. Like, what has Stipe done? This guy has not done anything since being knocked out, sent to the gulag by Francis Ngannou. He needs to man up. I'm not the one to tell Stipe to man up, but I'm just going to say it anyway. He needs to just fight Tom Aspinall, take that risk against Tom Aspinall, and I think Tom, he's going to get rid of Stipe Miocic, the new gen, going to get rid of the old gen, and then we're going to move forward to Jones versus Aspinall. I think that's how it has to be. I'm sorry, Jon. I know you want to fight Stipe because it's important for your legacy, you know, the greatest fighter of all time versus the greatest heavyweight of all time. I get it, but come on, man. Stipe's old, washed, past his prime. I mean, did you guys not see the condition Stipe was in at UFC 295 when he was in the arena? The man was limping. Could you imagine if the Jon fight went through? Jon would have had his way with Stipe. Stipe was going to go out sad. He will go out sad if the fight does happen. Because by the time they do fight, if they fight, it will have been now 3.5 years. Stipe's not getting any younger, man. He's old, bro. So he needs to be active. He needs to fight now, and he needs to fight against Aspinall or go home, get out of the way, and let Aspinall, the interim champion, have his dream fight with Jon Jones. Because honestly, man, I think Jones versus Aspinall, that's the fight to make. Stipe is irrelevant. Jones versus Miocic is absolutely irrelevant. I think that fight is an absolute joke now. So I hope that Stipe steps up, and I hope the UFC, they make this fight so that Aspinall can go out there, retire Stipe for good, and then we don't got to deal with Stipe anymore, and then we get the fight that's even better, Jones versus Aspinall. Way better fight, way more interesting fight, because Aspinall can actually pose a legit threat to Jon Jones. He is a legitimate challenge to Jon Bones Jones. He's well-rounded enough to keep up with Jon Jones everywhere. I think he is better than him in the stand-up, definitely a better boxer. I think he's got a speed advantage, footwork advantage, and he's got the grappling to go up against Jon Jones, something that Ciryl Gane didn't have. So it would be interesting to see how Jon Jones, the GOAT, could deal with a style like Tom Aspinall. Does he adapt? Does he overcome? Or is Aspinall going to be his kryptonite? Whereas, you know, if he fights Stipe, you kind of know what's going to happen. You know Jon Jones, if you're smart, you know Jon Jones is going to absolutely fuck Stipe up. That's like a foregone conclusion. So yeah, just forget that fight. That fight had its chance to happen, and Jon Jones bottled it by tearing his pectoral muscle. I know it's not his fault. Shit happens, but still it happened. So I feel like that fight now is gone with the wind, rather. But yeah, I mean, what else would there be for Aspinall if not Stipe? Like, think about it. He just rejected the idea of fighting Surreal Gone, which good for him because Surreal Gone literally said he will not fight Aspinall. Now Aspinall's got the belt, and Surreal's already had enough title shots. He doesn't deserve one. The Volkov fight doesn't make sense. He already beat him. Jailton is like ranked number 7 and coming off a boring performance over Lewis. Ain't no one trying to see him fight for the belt right now. So his next fight has to be Stipe if it's not going to be Jon Jones. You can't just have the interim champion fresh off a big win against Sergey just sit out for a year while the UFC waits for Jon to get better so he can get his legacy fight and perfect retirement fight against Stipe. Like, come on, man. Get real, UFC. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and peace out.